Okay, hello everyone. I am Carmarco, but you can call me Marco, and let's get reading. So, I buy a lot of manga, right? I mostly buy used manga. So today I want to show the used manga I've bought so far. I know a lot of people are picky about their manga conditions. I'm not as much, as long as they're not library copies and as long as they're not like completely ripped apart. So I'm able to buy manga for a lot cheaper because they are used. Most of the manga I buy is like $5 or like $6 at most. So let's just get started with this haul. So the first manga I got was 3 volumes and is Horimiya. This is volume 1, volume 2, and volume 5. Okay, here's the thing. I watched the anime of this manga when I was a teenager, and then I watched the next season of the anime this year. They came out with the second season called Horimiya The Missing Pieces. I realized after I bought this that I don't think this manga slash anime series is exactly that amazing or that good. It's basically just a romance manga. I think the romance just doesn't make sense at some points because the characters genuinely just are annoying, and I don't think they really fit well together at times. But I did buy these, so I am gonna read at least the first 2 volumes, and I'm gonna do something about volume 5. So yeah, I do plan on reading these, but I don't think I'm gonna really enjoy them that much, sadly. But I did get these. Next up, I got another manga that I honestly have mixed feelings about, A Man and His Cat, Volume 1 and 2. I already read Volume 1 of this manga, and honestly, I think it's a decent manga. I just personally couldn't enjoy it because this manga has an animal point of view, and the animal point of view is filled with so many cat puns and it was so annoying. This was a really easy read though, I will say that. It was just filled with cat puns and I was tired of the cat point of view. It was so frustrating. But other than that, I think this is a decent manga. I just don't think it's for me exactly because of the cat point of view. I will say there's this grief storyline and I think that was pretty great. But other than that, I think this was just okay, and I don't think I'm going to continue with this manga after I finish the second volume. Next up, I got 2 volumes of a shoujo beat manga, Imakoi, Now I'm in Love. I love romance manga. I don't know why. I just really love it. I just love contemporary stories, I guess. When it comes to like books, I can lean more fantasy and sci-fi. However, when it comes to manga, I tend to be more in the romance or contemporary department or just slice of life department. I'm not sure what these 2 are about. However, I have heard decent things about them, which is why I bought them, and hopefully I read them soon. Okay, this one I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy. It's Play It Cool, guys. This is just a slice of life manga. It is in color, which I think is always a plus, and I got this for like $6. But even though I got it for $6, I'm like, was it worth it? Because this manga is like so short, it's so slim. From what I understand, this is basically follows like a bunch of men and had their awkward moments. I think it could be interesting. I'm just not sure if it's going to be for me. This one I'm pretty excited for. It's Our Dining Table. I've heard amazing things about this. This is a boys love romance, and it's basically about these 2 men who start eating food together. One of the men has like a son or a brother, and it's basically about them taking care of the brother while also just eating food. It seems like it's gonna be a really fun time, and I'm really excited for this one. Honestly, I am. I got another BL manga, and that is Lynx. This is by the same author of Given. Okay, I'm a bit hesitant to read this one now because I have watched the Given anime, and I watched the first Given movie, and the first Given movie is not good. If you know, you know. And now I'm just thinking, is this author a weirdo, and are they gonna write weird stuff in this manga? That's what I'm wondering, because like, okay, I'm going into spoilers. Basically, in the first movie of Given, one of the characters tries to SA another character. Despite the fact that he literally tried to sexually assault someone, they're like forgiven, and then they have a romance, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, what was that? You know? So I don't know. I did buy this before that, but I'm still interested in this because I have heard good things about it. But I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it either way. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it because this author did write a sexual assault romance. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I will read this. Next up, I have one that I'm so excited about. I married my best friend to shut my parents up. So from what I understand, this is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm gonna explain it either way. Basically, our main character is struggling because her parents want her to get married, and she's like, I don't want to get married. I'm tired of them always telling me what to do. And then she's like, why don't I get married to my best friend to be like, fuck you to my parents? And basically she does that and her parents kick her out. It's pretty short, but this just sounds like so fun and I'm really excited for it. Hopefully I really do enjoy it. I bought a lot of LGBT manga. I bought another one, Our Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide. I've heard amazing things from this from a YouTuber I like, but this basically follows these two characters who are traveling around the world, and once they finish traveling around the world, they will get married. Next up, I got Prince Freya. This is a shoujo political fantasy from what I understand. We follow this main character. She gets kidnapped from her home because she looks a lot like the prince. Basically, the prince is really sick and dying. So they're like, hey, let's kidnap this girl who looks a lot like the prince and pretend that she is the prince in order to make the kingdom still look good and make it seem like the prince is still doing okay. I've heard a lot of people die in this and that this is pretty intense, so I am really excited for this. Hopefully I enjoy this and hopefully it'll be a good time because it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I got another queer romance, Still Sick. This is, from what I understand, Yuri office romance, and it's only 3 volumes. It seems like it's also going to be a fun time. Okay, so I already looked at a few pages and it seems like they're already together from the beginning of the manga, which is something that I personally really do enjoy when manga. I love it when a manga already has 2 characters being involved with each other, or when a manga like basically decides to stop like fucking around and just make them like get together really quickly. And it seems like this is one of those manga, so I'm going to read this and hopefully I will enjoy it. I have a manga that I know I'm going to really enjoy, and that is Run on Your New Legs. We follow a character as he gains a prosthetic, and it's basically about him learning how to run, or like being into running. It's only 5 volumes. It seems like it's going to be a really fun time. I've heard like pretty great things about this one, so I'm really excited for it. I have another romance, The Ice Guy and Cool Girl. So here's the thing. This basically follows 2 characters. One of them has the power to like create snow because they're the descendant of like a snow woman, which is some kind of Japanese fantastical creature. I'm not really sure. I watched the anime of this and I really did enjoy the anime of this, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna read the manga and hopefully I enjoy that too. I honestly think the anime is better so far. I've only read volume 1 of this, but basically in volume 1, this manga tends to be a lot more like snippets or like 3-minute minisodes of scenes instead of full-on like length moments. Like in the anime, I felt like there was a stronger plot line and it was less episodic, but in this manga it seems a lot more episodic. And while I do enjoy the art of this, I just liked how in the anime it felt like there was a stronger plot. So yeah, that's just how I feel about this manga so far. So I would recommend this if you like episodic things and if you're looking for something with beautiful art. Next up, I got In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. This is a high school romance about 2 pretty people, I guess, is what I would explain it as. It follows this girl and boy who are both considered like the prince of their high school. And honestly, okay, here's the thing. Is that a real thing in Japanese high schools? Because I feel like this is such anime bullshit, but despite that, I still enjoy it. I'm just not sure how realistic it is for that kind of thing to happen in like high schools. So I think that's a little bit weird. I just think that's an anime stereotype at this point, but I still enjoy it. So hopefully I'm not too like annoyed by the fact that this has like an anime trope like that. I mean, I'm still trash, so I probably will enjoy it, but like, I just can't help but like be like, is this realistic at any point at all, or are they just making shit up? Because if they are just making shit up, I think that's honestly a bit bad, but like, it's whatever, I guess. Next up, I got a Shonen Jump title, Black Torch. I've heard really amazing things about this manga, but this manga was canceled. It's only at 5 volumes. I don't know what it's about. I don't know. It's an action shonen, so like typical action shonen. What do you expect? But I've heard really good things about this, and I do enjoy action shonen from time to time, so I'm going to read this and hopefully really enjoy it. Next up, I have 3 books by the same author. I have Dreaming Sun and Become You. So from what I understand, Dreaming Sun is a romance, while Become You is a music manga. I've heard really amazing things about Become You. I've heard less things about Dreaming Sun, but I'm still excited to read both of these. The next up, I have 3 manga from all the same series, but they're like technically different series, and that is Cells at Work, Cells at Work Baby, and Cells at Work Code Black. I watched the anime of Cells at Work and I really enjoyed it, so I was like, I'm definitely gonna enjoy the manga, I think. We're basically in the human body and we follow a red blood cell and a white blood cell as they do their work. And basically, it's a very educational like action series where we learn about the jobs of the red and white blood cells and other blood cells. It's basically about them fighting germs, like dealing with problems of the human body, all that kind of stuff. It's really enjoyable so far. Next up, I have Perfect World. This is a romance between a man and a woman, and basically they knew each other when they were children, but they meet each other again as adults, and basically the main character realizes that the boy she had a crush on became disabled at some point, and it's basically about them starting a romance after all those years apart. From what I understand, this has really great representation for disabled folks. I've heard that like it goes through the discussion of being disabled in Japan and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to read this, and I will enjoy this, I bet. So I got this manga from the thrift store for $1, and honestly, I will say, I think the reason it was only for $1 at the thrift store is the only reason I got this manga. I got Blue Exorcist. I don't want to say this manga is bad. I just personally feel like this manga won't be for me because I heard my sister talk about this manga or the anime and basically say, yeah, I don't think you would enjoy it. And I'm like, okay, so will I enjoy it then? I'm going to give this a shot at some point. Not anytime soon, I think, but I did buy this, so I will read it eventually. I'm just not sure if I'm going to really enjoy it, so I'm kind of hesitant to read this. Next up, we have a book from my favorite series of all time, Bloom Into You. I got the Bloom Into You Anthology Volume 1. I give this 3 stars. I thought it was okay. It's basically a bunch of short stories from the Bloom Into You universe, or like alternate universe type stories. I really enjoyed this just because of the fact that we got to see more Bloom Into You. But other than that, I think this was just okay. I would strongly recommend Bloom Into You if you're looking for a Yuri romance. I think it's really amazing what the author does with Bloom Into You, and I just really recommend that manga. I just think it's so amazing, and I need more people to read it. Okay, the next thing I got was Nichijou. I actually own all the volumes of Nichijou. So here's the thing. I actually read Nichijou like when I was in high school. I think I read up to volume 10. But recently, or like not really recently, but a little while back, the author came out with the volume 11 and is continuing the series after not writing in it for like 10 years or 11 years or something. So I want to read the series again just so I can continue the series when I get to volume 11. I already did buy volume 11. I have read this all already. I'm just going to reread it. This is just a slice of life comedy and I strongly recommend it. I think it's really amazing. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. I think it's really funny. And you've probably heard of Nichijou. It's pretty popular anime / manga series. Next up, I got volume 1 of Honda-kun. This is a prequel to a anime / manga called Barakuman. And I was thinking that I'm going to collect the entire series of Honda-kun and Barakuman. But after thinking about it a bit more, I just realized this is something that I will enjoy the anime of, but I don't think I'm going to read personally. I just don't feel that excited to read this series. But I was excited when I originally bought this. So I guess once the hype died down for me, I was like, do I really want to read this? And then I realized, I think I'll just enjoy the anime, and that's it. I'm probably going to read this first volume, but I'm probably not going to continue with the series because of the fact that I just am not excited to continue the series at all. But I did buy this, so I am going to read it. I got another high school romance, Honey Lemon Soda. I've heard okay things about this, and I am excited for it because it is a romance, and I just really enjoy romance. However, I do want to see more adult romances in my day. Hopefully, there are more of them sooner than later. I have another shoujo beat title, Daytime Shooting Star. This is, from what I understand, a romance. I'm not 100% sure if it is. I'm not sure. I got it because it is a shoujo beat title, and I do want to read more shoujo. So hopefully I enjoy this. I think I will. But we'll just have to wait and see until I read volume 1. I have 2 manga by the same author, and the 2 manga I have is Sue and Tai-chan and Fuku Fuku Kitten Tales. This is from the author of Chi Sweet Home, and I was really excited to read these because I did enjoy Chi Sweet Home when I was a child, and so did my sister. But I read Sue and Tai-chan. I realized that I won't enjoy this because it does have animal point of views, and I should have seen this coming. I gave Sue and Tai-chan 3 stars. I think it's a decent manga. I just don't think it's a manga for me, right? Because it has animal point of views. And I think Fuku Fuku Kitten Tales also has an animal point of view. I'm not 100% sure yet, but probably does. And the last manga I got was Flying Witch. So this is a manga turned to anime that I did watch. And I did enjoy the anime. It was very slice of life and cozy. So I want to read more of the manga and see if I enjoyed that too. This basically follows this witch as she goes into a town and does witch things. It's been a long time since I have watched the anime, so I'm not 100% sure. But I did enjoy this anime when I watched it, and I think I will enjoy the manga too. That's basically all the used manga I've gotten in the past 6 months maybe. I'm not 100% sure. That's everything, so goodbye.